Deshler High School, Tuscumbia City Schools. What are y'all doing? Let's sit down and really talk about this, because every time I think we've hit rock bottom with what's coming out of Deshler High School, something else surfaces that proves me wrong. This isn't just about one bad decision. This is about a culture, a pattern of behavior, and a double standard that is so obvious, so blatant, that parents are starting to lose every bit of trust they have in the people running these schools. Now, I want to start by reading you the words of a mother who is fed up. Her child was in class, and according to her, another student put his hands around her child's neck and choked him. Quote, "I hate to do this with everything going on already with Deshler High School. However, apparently at Deshler High School, it is okay for another student to choke out another and expect the student that is being choked not to defend himself. I'm so livid and disappointed in the school right now, I can't even put it into words. My child cannot return to school at all till Friday, then has 2 weeks of in-school suspension for defending himself. And to top it off, the attacker will be in ISS with him. Deshler High, you can be expecting to see this mama in your office very soon, demanding answers how this has happened and how a child was allowed to be choked in the middle of class. Are all your teachers this unreliable and irresponsible? Because based off what I'm seeing between August Borden and now my son, seems to me y'all need to reevaluate who y'all are allowing around these students and in charge of the classroom. Tuscumbia City Schools should be ashamed." This was posted 5 to 6 days ago, so sometime last week. Now, before we go into the issues with Deshler, I want to touch on one part of her post where she talks about how was a child allowed to be choked in the middle of class. Now, I completely understand her frustration with that, and for sure. But also, teachers can only do so much. So fights are going to happen in school. They are. Fights are going to happen in class. Unfortunately, teachers and the school system can't prevent all of those. So I can't put that on the school or definitely the teachers. However, what schools can do and should do when incidents like this happen is discipline. Discipline. What we call in Alabama with domestic violence is the aggressor. And in a DV situation, domestic violence situation, that's who you arrest. You have to determine who the aggressor was. Because in domestic violence situations, you should never arrest both parties unless there is some kind of crazy circumstance. However, school systems, and this is not just Deshler High School or the Tuscumbia City Schools. I understand a lot of school systems around this country have this same policies. Both parties are held responsible and disciplined. I don't agree with that. Never have. I understand why they do it like that, but I don't agree with it. I think it's a lazy way to do that. I mean, there's no other way to put that. It's a lazy way to do it because they don't want to take the time to actually determine who is the aggressor. Now, I have, as y'all have heard me say numerous times, I have tons of respect for educators, teachers, administrators in education, all the above. They have a extremely hard job, one of the hardest, if not the toughest jobs in the country, and one of the most, if not the most important. And if you've never done it, you have no idea how hard it really is. I know it on the outside, it looks like a gravy job, but trust me, it is not. And I learned a new appreciation for them when I started teaching classes, and I teach to adults, theoretically mature adults. But standing up in front of a class for 8 hours a day, it will wear you down. It is the most tiring thing. And I only do it for 3 to 4, sometimes 5 days at a time, but I don't ever do like 2 weeks or 3 weeks back to back or anything. I don't know that I could do that. And so most teachers have to do this every single day, their entire career. It's a hard job. So I don't like hating on teachers. They have a very tough job. And I don't think any of this is on the actual teachers. This is on the administrator. So I just wanted to give that disclaimer. But let's go back to her post. Now, think about that for a second. A kid gets choked, defends himself, and who gets punished? The victim. Who gets harsher discipline? the kid who didn't start the fight. He can't even go back to school for days and then has to sit in school suspension for 2 weeks. And to top it off, he has to sit in ISA next to the same kid who attacked him. That's not justice. That's not fairness. That's not how you keep kids safe in school. Again, that's my stance on that. This is this mother's post. I understand all of it may not be completely true. The truth usually is somewhere in the middle. Most of the time, that is true. So I understand that. That is not the point of this. It doesn't really matter. What matters is kids were disciplined, and at least one of them disciplined as they should have been. Let's compare that to the August Borden case. In August's situation, we're not talking about a scuffle. We're not talking about a hallway fight. We're talking about an incident that almost ended a student's life. For a few seconds, did end the student's life. CPR had to be performed. August had to be airlifted to a trauma hospital. Coaches admitted on recording that they knew exactly which student was responsible. And there was proof this wasn't just kids playing around. Let me ask the obvious question. Why has there still been no disciplinary action taken by Deshler High School or Tuscumbia City Schools against the student or students involved in literally nearly ending the life of another student? We're not talking about speculation here. We're not talking about rumors. We're talking about a matter of record. We're talking about school administrators who know what happened, who know who was responsible, and yet they have done absolutely nothing. And we're well over a month into this. Meanwhile, another kid who simply defended himself from being choked is yanked out of class, suspended, and punished more severely than the aggressor. If that's not a double standard, I don't know what is. Now, I've already heard some of the excuses. Well, the August case is tied up in the legal process, so the school doesn't want to interfere. That's complete nonsense. Nonsense. Because if a student walked in there tomorrow with illegal substances, that student would face consequences from law enforcement and immediate consequences from the school. Everybody agree? You know, that is true. They wouldn't wait around to see what juvenile court decided. They wouldn't. So why is this any different? Why is it that in the most serious case we have seen, where a kid almost loses his life, Deshler High School has decided to sit on its hands and do absolutely nothing? The truth is simple. The difference isn't legal. The difference is political. The difference is favoritism. The difference is whether or not you wear a jersey, whether or not you're tied to that football program. And for those of you who say that that's not correct, prove me wrong. Show me any other difference between this and any of these others. There's not any difference. And here's the most dangerous part. When a school sets this kind of precedent, they destroy their own authority. It's very dangerous. Every time they hand out a suspension to a kid for something minor, parents will have every single right to look them in the face and say, why are you punishing my child when you didn't punish the kid who almost cost another student's life? It's not hypothetical. That's reality. The more the school protects athletes and punishes victims, the more credibility they lose with every parent in the district. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. This is just one case that has been posted from a parent. There's more, and there's a lot more to come, I guarantee you, because again, they have the right to ask this question. Why is their child getting disciplined when this one didn't? It's a really good question that I would love an answer to. So what does accountability look like here? Accountability means administrators stop hiding between weak excuses. It means they apply their own code of conduct equally, no matter if the student is on the football field or not. It means they answer to parents who are demanding justice for their children. Because if you punish a victim for defending themselves while ignoring an aggressor who nearly cost another student's life, you've lost the moral right to lead a school. This mother, as I said, she is right to be outraged. Parents across Tuscumbia are right to be outraged. And the community should be outraged too. Because this isn't just about one fight or one incident. It's about a broken system inside Deshler High School one that protects the wrong people and punishes the wrong kids. August Borden's family deserves justice. This mother's child deserves justice. And every parent deserves answers. Deshler High and Tuscumbia City Schools. You can't keep sweeping this under the rug. We're not going away, and neither are these questions. I want to hit back because I know this is the comment, because I've said this exact same thing most of the other stories I've done on August Borden, and people comment this. So I am addressing it twice in this one. Do not come at me with the excuse that it's because it's going through criminal prosecution. Again, that is nonsense. Whoever came up with that or started that excuse knows what they were doing. They knew that was nonsense. They're doing what we would call trying to deflect. They do not want to answer the hard question. Simple as that. That is not a good excuse at all. I've given examples. And again, prove me wrong. If that's not the case, show me where a kid has been arrested for illegal substances, something illegal, and not disciplined by the school. Show me. Tell me a specific incident. Show me. I guarantee you won't be able to, because it's not the case. And the fact that all of this awareness has been brought to this case, I mean, this is national news now, and you are still sitting on your hands. You have at this point quadrupled down, doubled down, tripled down, and now up to at least quadruple down. I do not understand it, nor does anyone else. But maybe y'all's football team keeps winning, because I hope it's worth it. I really hope it's worth it. This has been Truth Recon. If you found value in what you heard today, please like and follow me so you don't miss what's coming next. And make sure you're following me on Spotify, Apple, Rumble, and YouTube for all of my full episodes where we go even deeper, uncut, and unfiltered. Together, we'll keep demanding answers, holding people accountable, and making sure no one is forgotten. I'm Agent D. Baker.